Hello everyone, hope that you are very well and welcome to this evening's cryptocurrency technical analysis live stream, where I think we're going to go through Bitcoin and a few different altcoins. Particularly I want to go through Ethereum because that's obviously dropped quite heavily today. So I would like to cover Ethereum primarily, and we'll probably take a little bit of a recap at XRP and Litecoin, the two other altcoins that I've been covering recently. So that's what we got to look forward to today. Obviously, I have a sore throat, yeah, and I've been given advice. Daniel, do not do the live stream tonight. You need to take rest. You need to take time off. And you know what? Here I am. I'm still doing it. So going to struggle through the pain because what do I love more? Talking about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about some altcoins, and I hope that you, ladies and gentlemen, are doing very well indeed. Boom. So sound is good. Sound is good. That's brilliant. Let's begin. Yeah, let's just go straight into it. I'm going to try and keep this one short. Famous last words. I want to just keep this one short and sweet, you know? Not like a normal Friday night live stream. It's not going to go on for hours. I hope so. So I do honestly need to save my voice. So we're going to try and keep this under, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe. We'll see how it goes. What shall I start with then? Shall I start with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin? Decisions. I think I'll start with Litecoin. This has been the one. Yeah, I think we'll start with Litecoin. I've enjoyed trading this recently. It's obviously it's continuing fairly nice. If you've watched our videos of Litecoin, I think we'll do Litecoin then Bitcoin, end with Ethereum. How does that sound? Yeah, let's go. So obviously we were trading Litecoin. Obviously we come down towards that CC. We were looking at this to form a bigger head and shoulders pattern, and well, currently going pretty nice. Obviously we had this potential of it potentially dipping down to form like a bigger right shoulder here, because we're obviously working on the right shoulder. So we know that there's the potential that we could still get another drop down here to finish that rounded bottom, really, before it's, you know, we're looking up for that target of around $350, aren't we? So you know, if this is to drop to the downside, obviously I'm already in a long position, but if it does drop to another move to the downside, I think we got this fairly nice trade still coming on here to look to trade that up to back up towards 350, just slight front run of it. So, I'm pretty content with Litecoin recently. I think it's been slow and steady coin. Obviously we've been talking about it a little bit. Where was the last time I posted about this? Over on Twitter. It was XRP. I think we've talked about Litecoin a little bit. No, I'm sure we had, but maybe I haven't talked about it. Well, we done a YouTube video on it the other day, so just go back and watch the YouTube video. Obviously we're talking about this head and shoulders pattern. I still think Litecoin's looking really nice to finish the head and shoulders pattern. If it dips down one more time, I think I still view this as a compounding opportunity. It's not really like it's the end of the setup. Sorry that I'm going to have a few different grapes and stuff during the stream, but yeah, I think Litecoin still looks good. Yeah, no, obviously I'm trading this on against Tether over on Bybit for leveraged longs. I'm obviously holding it spot long as well. So this is on Bybit, and where is it against BTC? There it is. We can obviously see here it's still forming that head and shoulders overall. Well, we had the really nice left shoulder, we had the fairly nice head, and then it's still in the process of forming this right shoulder. So just like the just like the USDT pair that we looked at, this still has the very nice sort of rounded kind of bottom. It's not really a bottom per se, but rounded continuation pattern, I suppose. Just like the USDT pair. So yeah, short and sweet. I think Litecoin basically is still going absolutely fine. Even if we were to drop down to 230, that still for me is absolutely fine. As long as we don't really lose this low, I'm happy to. I'm really happy to hold on to my long positions, basically. So yeah, if anybody has any questions about Litecoin, ask them now. And if not, I'm probably going to move on to Bitcoin. So let's just see if anyone has any questions before we move on. Safe Moon. Man, I heard all about Safe Moon. Loads of people just want Bitcoin. You know what? I've not really been trading Bitcoin that much. Well, I have been. I'm not going to, I've been scalp trading it. But in terms of like I've been having quite a lot of fun with the altcoins recently. They've actually been pretty good to trade. As you all know, I've been done that video today on XRP. That was pretty nice, no, that video that we done, XRP. I'll show you this actually. I'll show you just this really quick insight of XRP. This was over in the altcoin charts, because I don't think many people use this really. So obviously XRP, specifically on Bybit, we were at the CC resistance. Yeah, so we were at the CC resistance earlier today. Obviously I made a YouTube video about it, and we were battling with that CC resistance. And this is the really helpful thing about looking at the order flow. So you can I'll load it up for you so you can just see what I'm on about here. Yeah. So we were obviously looking at this. We switched this over to XRP, and we started to form these. Oh my god, yeah, look, this crazy. We started to form basically massive bullish CVD. This was what? This was nearly 8 hours ago. Yeah, so obviously a little bit outdated now, but just so you can see the power of the order flow even on the altcoins. So about 8 hours ago, we started to form bullish divergences. We were talking about the open interest looking really good, expecting it basically to break through the CC level. And obviously it done that. Yeah, it done that. What, a few hours later, you broke through it. So just to really emphasize there that even on the altcoins, that I don't think many people are using the order flow on the altcoins, but yeah, I think that's a nice example of it, like literally working very, very, very well. Managing to recognize another move coming to the upside. You have to remember this was like a 6% move. Yeah, so it moved up another 6% from those bullish divergences. So yeah, that for me was pretty interesting. Overall, though, still consolidating around this CC. So there's nothing really changed. Oops, sorry. There's nothing really changed per se on XRP from this morning's video. Just that we managed to breach the CC temporarily, about a 6% move to the upside. So, you know, doesn't look a lot, but it is, 6% is a decent move in the day. And yeah, that's XRP. That is Litecoin, which I think is still a really nice setup. And I suppose we'll move over to Bitcoin then. All right, let me just see if anybody had any questions a second. Yes, I forgot to say that. If you are enjoying the video, absolutely smash the likes. I was debating just like missing this one tonight. I didn't want to, but honestly, my throat, like, it really should be rested. Like, literally, my doctor was like, you really got to rest this. I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not. No, I messed up. Hey. I was going to do a joke, but I'm not going to do that one again. Failed. But anyway. Yeah, let's just go over to Bitcoin then. Fair enough. I don't think anyone has any questions. I am going to cover Ethereum, I think. Oh my god, how did you lose 3,000? So this guy says he lost $3,000 on XRP. He's so depressed. Oh, man, I don't know how you lost $3,000 on XRP. It's basically just been going up. It's kind of just been going up overall. I guess maybe I don't know. Obviously, I can't really help you that much because I don't know how you lost $3,000. But I think this has been trading pretty well, to be honest, in my opinion. With it coming down, well, I mean, just go watch the video that I've done on it. But it's been trading very technically. But don't worry, mate. $3,000, it's not the end of the world. So just, I wouldn't get depressed over that. Just, just buckle up. It's just part of trading. You're not going to win every one. Forget about it, mate. The money's gone. Move on to the next trade. There's many assets. Yeah, and there's many assets to trade. XRP doesn't really have a setup at the moment. You're still at the CC resistance. Yeah, so you're still at the CC resistance region. So, in my opinion, there's not really a setup here per se. It's exactly like I said earlier. You've got to wait for a bit of a retrace, I would say, for a buy opportunity. You definitely don't want to buy into the CC resistance. So, yeah, there's that question from that guy. Well, it wasn't really a question, I suppose, but there you go, mate. I guess the best thing I can say is if you're learning, which I would imagine you're learning, you don't need to risk thousands and thousands of dollars if you're still a learner. Yeah, bit pointless in my opinion. Yes, XRP has been nice to trade. Yeah, I agree. We're going to look at Ethereum. Is Binance wrong to use? I hear you use Bybit. And if you're in the group, you know my opinion on this. I'm a fan of Bybit. You can use Binance if you want, but I am definitely not a fan of it at all. But it's not really wrong to use per se. But obviously, I trade it on Bybit, and obviously we do have the link. Might as well shield this. If you want $1,100 for free trading on Bybit, you can use the affiliate link that we have up here to create an account, deposit some Bitcoin, and yeah, they got $1,100 for free on Bybit at the moment. So you might as well test it out if you haven't already. I personally love it. What is the XRP target? My upper target, if we break through this CC, is 1.75. So $1. Well, actually no, $1. Let me just double check. I wrote this in the group earlier. I just need to load up my post a second. I think I said $1.76. Pretty sure $1.76. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I even wrote this one on Twitter, you know. I think I gave this one out publicly. Pretty sure I gave this one publicly if you paid attention. Yeah, $1.76. So yeah, I'm looking for $1.76, but of course we need to get through the really big CC zone first, yeah? So if we breach through this, I'm looking for next target $1.76 on XRP. Okay, that for me is a very, 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 very big level. Even big, in my opinion, bigger than the CC. Like I haven't shorted the CC, but I might short 1.7. Well, 1.76, yeah, that's my target. Next target anyway. So there you go. Smashed it. Thank you, Daniel. I am a CC moon boy. Love it. You're gonna love it here, mate. I'm sorry that I don't have the energy that I have normally. Like, I really want to be energetic, but my throat doesn't want to let me be energetic. Like, I want to scream and shout about these coins, but can't do it right now. You know, can't do it. Anyway, moving over to Bitcoin. Yeah, I think Bitcoin's looking really nice, to be honest. Obviously, in the end, we were looking at this earlier, bounced off to 382 last night. So we were looking, obviously, well, I personally was looking for a retrace on Bitcoin when it was coming up. You know, everyone was like shouting about Facebook and all this sort of stuff. It's just like ridiculous. But a lot of people hyped about the Facebook news, which wasn't obviously news. Overall, I was looking for a pullback. I would have liked even lower. Personally, I would have liked even lower. But this is what we say. It doesn't matter what we like. Just got to trade what you're given. And in the end, it did really nicely bounce off the 382. So this is what you have to remember. Like in an uptrend. Okay, so I wrote about this on Twitter as well. In an uptrend, where is it? Where was it? Pretty sure. Yeah. In an uptrend, yeah. The 382 Fibonacci is a very bullish level to hold. So when we are looking at this is the 382 here. When we're looking at the 382 Fibonacci, this is considered, if we are in a strong uptrend, you don't really want to lose such levels of support, okay? Or let's just say you can lose it. It's not the end of the world. But generally speaking, if you hold the 382 in an uptrend, you know, it's considered a very bullish pullback. Yeah, it's a very bullish pullback. It's one of your most accepted pullbacks that, you know, you could, because you're looking at the 382, aren't you, as like a bullish pullback, and then more of a bearish pullback might be down to the CC per se. Yeah. So by holding the 382 there, I think we can, well, I would say that's a bullish pullback, and held the 382 Fibonacci. Well, we've already moved up to the upside. I personally, from here though, would like to see a bit more to the I would personally like to see a bit more. If it happens over the weekend, I think even better. I do think it's even better. But I think we have like a few really key zones of resistance. Obviously, we're going to have to be looking at this, which is around 59, just below. This would be our first key level of resistance. You might ask why. Well, this is going to be the reverse CC. Yeah. It's going to be the reverse CC there. So that's between $58,000 and $59,000 basically. So I think we can be aware of the reverse CC there, $58,000, $59,000. You know, this is the sort of, I would definitely never long that. Yeah. If you long into the CC, you're just like, I don't know, not going to say it, but I wouldn't long there. That's the next key resistance. Yeah. I'm personally looking for a push up. If you didn't already know, I still have that long. I've taken the majority of profits on that long, by the way. So I have taken the majority of profits on that long, but I think I can talk about it now because I still have it. Still have that long on Cardano. Yeah, if you want me to do a video on Cardano, you're gonna have to let me know. I'm happy to do a video on Cardano. I got converted into a long. So if you want Cardano, let me know. But yeah, obviously still have that long from literally $47,000 on Bitcoin. I had no need to close it. I literally had no need to close it. So I'm looking now for a push up to $59,000. Might short this, to be honest. It depends. If we get through though this, I'm really going to be looking for, pretty obvious. No, $60,000 is going to be pretty key. $61,000. So you really got to get through 58. If you get through 58, then look for around $61,000. No, simple stuff, and really not that difficult. That's the way that I would approach this. Personally, wouldn't short here. I think you're offered a much better trade if we push up first. Again, we got this area, and then we're going to be looking up towards 61k. You have to remember this. If we reach this high, oops, move about 7% to the upside. That's that's crazy massive move. So, in my perspective, 7% is like amazing. So, I think personally, I would prefer a move up from here because I don't really have a trade where we are here. So there's like one of two ways that you could trade this, I suppose. Preferably, maybe you get your back test first, for example. But overall, I would much prefer a bullish weekend, or at least a start of the weekend bullish. I'd much prefer to see a move up because I just don't have a trade here. I wouldn't personally short here. Okay. We haven't taken any highs. We haven't done a swing failure pattern. It's just like, there's not really a trade I would take here. So I would much prefer to see a move up. So that would be my preferred scenario. Then if we start to see some, weak moves above the high, like weak volume breakouts, start to form some divergences up here, then hey, nice short position. If you don't do any of that and you start getting massive volume increases, don't short it and just let it continue to run. So I think it's just a very, very, very easy scenario to trade this if we continue upwards. It's going to be a lot harder to trade, I feel, if we do not break this last high and we just do this. For me, that's a lot harder to trade because I'm not in a short at the moment. And obviously I'm still in that long. So for me, it's a lot easier to trade if we push up from here. And Bitcoin generally does what I like. So I would kind of prefer it. I'd much prefer a push up. Again, you have to remember, it doesn't really matter what I want, but Bitcoin has a habit of doing what I like. So not always, but a lot of the time. So I'd like this to push up again. At least $58,000, at least for a swing failure pattern of the high. If there's no swing failure pattern, I think we can be looking up to, 61k, 61, 62, $63,000. This is the thing. We know the regions of the resistance here. But if it happens on a weekend and where just the CME is going to be closed, our futures markets, obviously on the stock market, are going to be closed. This is what I feel is on the weekend, it's slightly more difficult to get the precision. Over this, even this past week, like if you've been following along over the past 5 days, we've been getting levels to literally the dollar, like bam, dollar entry, bam, dollar entry. Like it's been pretty insane. If you've been taking any notice of what we've been posting, we've been doing some absolute dollar precision moves. Very, very, very nice. But the weekend is a bit like, I don't expect so much precision. I expect levels to go through, front run. I'm not expecting such precision on the weekend, to be honest with you. So I think we got to give it a little bit of leeway, and it's just because the volume is so much lower. So I think we got this leeway of around 58, 59,000, and then really up at the highs. I mean, it's really you got to remember this could push 63k the weekend, but I wouldn't necessarily be expecting that per se. I think you got much bigger resistance, 60 to 61, and for me that's like a pretty big area to look for shorts. This is just the way I trade. I would be looking for that, but I think I'd be slightly cautious at the CC and would only look to trade that if you really got some massive divergences, or alternatively you got a swing failure pattern. That would be the only way I'd short a CC. I'd prefer to see it breached and head up towards 60k plus. I think it just offers a not an easier trade per se, but a lot bigger opportunities, because if you breach 60k, everyone's going to flip really bullish, yeah. You already know everyone's going to flip really bullish if that happens. So I'd like that. I would like that indeed. I'm going to take a bit of melon. Yeah. You want to see something even more impressive? I spoke to him today. I said, can I show the people your Elliott wave count? He said, go on, Daniel. You can absolutely do it. So I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the legend himself, Younes. This is the legend unit. Look at him. He's even boosting the chart champion server. So much of a legend he is. Only true legends boost the server, and Younes is a server booster. So he's already in the good books. But on top of that, I want to show you this, a prediction from the 27th. I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, of course you can share it." So you all got to say thank you to Younes, yeah, because this guy is a good trader, and when I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly. Not everyone is a good trader, but Younes is. Yeah, Younes is a very good trader, and also a very humble guy. A lot more humble than me. You never see him bragging about anything. So I want you to all say thank you, Younes, for allowing me to share his Elliott wave count, because I'm telling you, the guy's an absolute beast at Elliott waves. Very, very, very good. So go on, show the love, say thank you, Younes, and that will make me happy, because I want Younes to smile. This is the prediction that he wrote in the group. I saw this as soon as he posted it on the 27th. I was like, wow. I wonder what's happening next then. Well, of course, it's exactly as predicted. He was looking for this to come down to the 382 before another move to the upside. I mean, look at the accuracy on his Elliott waves. He had the A, B, C to give us our W, the X to come down for the Y. You remember this one? Swing failure pattern of $47,000. We also had this cipher going on there. Madre mia, Younes, you're an absolute legend. On the 27th, his prediction was that we got the stream wave move down to the 382 Fibonacci level before a very quick and impulsive move to the upside. Yeah, that was his prediction. Well, have a look at this. That was his prediction. You see the accuracy of how that played out? Like, you got to be impressed, no? That's pretty amazing. Right onto the 382. I'll show you again, yeah? Right onto the 382. This is the 382 Fibonacci. So it literally came down right where he wanted to see it for the B wave. Like, he's not expecting to see C. He's not expecting 50k. He was looking for that $52,000 level. Man, it come right down to his zone. Really quick impulse back off of it. Well, if we talk about exactly as predicted, like Younes with his Elliott waves counts are exactly as predicted. There we go. Thank you, everyone. Younes, I hope you're watching and appreciate this. I actually asked him if he wanted to come on the live stream. He's trading. The man's dedicated, but he's trading right now, literally. He's scalp trading. You know, the guy's dedicated to his craft. So Younes is an absolute legend, honestly. Thank you, Younes. Yes, absolutely thank you. With your absolutely beastly Elliott wave count there. I mean, if we take a real close zoom into this, I think it's pretty interesting if you look at it overall. Obviously, we've got a subdivision down here. ABC, ABC, ABC. But this is obviously just giving us a bigger ABC and the W. So, W, X, triangle, coming down for the Y, ABC. So he's looking obviously for the push up to around 60k. So that would be brilliant, no? Confluence. So yeah, that was the beastie Elliott wave count from Younes, which really all started off of that $47,000. I think like the 47 to catch the Y. I mean, it was a pretty difficult trade. Now, I think we can all agree it wasn't like the most easiest trade in the world. You have to think about that 47k trade. You know, who is longing that? Like, obviously you don't know I have, but like the thing is, it's a trade that you have to be at the computer for. So if you're like sleeping, you miss that trade 100%. I'm pretty sure, because this was a swing failure pattern, just like we are looking for the potential swing failure pattern up here. We had a swing failure pattern here, yeah. So we swing failure pattern $47,000. So you have to remember that I know a lot of people in trading, they like beat themselves up. They get so depressed when they lose money, or when they get so depressed when they miss a move. It's kind of, it's just not the mindset of a good trader. You can't be that depressed. It's like the guy earlier, he said he lost $3,000 trading XRP and you become depressed. It's like, well, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help anybody. You just got to accept you've lost the money and move on. But it's, you know, I think a lot of people get really depressed when they miss moves. But this was a hard move to catch. That was a very hard move to catch. You know, there were obviously signs down here. But this is the thing. If you miss a move, it's not the end of the world. There's always another trade. There's always another opportunity. You know, you had this move. You could have longed the trade too, for example. Hey, even if you miss this, you miss this. Well, there's another trade coming like next week, you know. So there's always another trade. So like the people that beat themselves up and get depressed, hey, I know it's hard. I know, you know, we can make this seem pretty easy. But at the end of the day, of course, you know, it takes blood, sweat, tears, hours, dedication. You know, it's not easy. So although we make it look easy, you know, it's obviously not. You have to remember what you don't see in these videos, what you don't see on the Elliott wave counts is all the, you know, all the failed attempts that you've gone through in the learning process, all the failures, all the days where we've been thinking, oh man, I want to give up. This ain't for me, you know, but you battle through it. Hey, you come out of it, I think, very happy. But, you know, hard trade off for 47k. I don't think it was everybody's cup of tea. Swing failure pattern, drop to the 382. I think the best case scenario really would be at least a move to around 58k for a swing failure pattern. No swing failure pattern that we're going to be looking higher. It could obviously swing failure pattern back test 55k and move up again as well, which would give you something like this for that. Just you know, just an idea. Just because you swing failure pattern don't mean we're going to like $13,000. So yeah, you just got to remember that. Yeah, so does anybody have any questions on that? If not, I think we'll go over to Ethereum. Oh, I don't know how I missed that. You know, you see this glitch? It said there were no super chats, but there obviously had been. This guy says, how do you determine a swing failure pattern in real time? How do you determine it? Good question. The things that I'm looking at are primarily, I'm going to be looking at open interests. I'm going to be looking at the delta. You know, these are the primary things. So you're going to be looking at the delta that goes into the high. Then you're going to be looking at the open interest that goes into the high. And then I suppose like trap traders and the imbalances. So really it's a mixture of, I want to say like 3 primary factors. The delta going into the high, the imbalances coming off of the high, you know, and just the volume really, no? So obviously you would ideally, in the best case scenario, see an increase in open interest, massive increase in delta, and then imbalances coming off of it to the downside, like short selling imbalances. Even better if that increases the open interest as well, because then you see a massive like whale battle between the longs getting trapped and then the Bitcoin whales of the short side coming in and like destroying them. You know, so that would be what I would look for in real time. Basically, so like literally exactly what I'd look for. Inspiring reality talk from Pele, Danny Burkamp. Man, I love you guys. Literally, I love you so much. What's delta? If you don't know what delta is, I just recommend you join the website. We're going to teach you about delta, open interest, selling imbalances. Oh man, it's just so much easier to join the website. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting one. Why did Younes expect a 382 and not a CC? Man, Younes, I guess, was not expecting a heavy drop. I guess the obvious thing was a really heavy drop. That's what I could imagine. Obviously, I can't really speak for him because he's not here, but what I would imagine maybe is a lot of people probably were expecting a really heavy drop. So if a lot of people are expecting that heavy drop, then the case of, oh, it's not going to happen, you get the smaller retrace, which we can say probably wrecks more people now, because I think it was a hard long. Also, you know, you get people early in their shorts. Obviously, if you're shorting at the 382, like, you deserve to lose money because it's like, this is an awful time to short, absolutely awful time to short. Just like this is an awful time to enter longs, you know, but people love to short at the lows. People love to long at the highs. It's just like, Yeah, I would imagine that's probably the answer, but I obviously cannot really speak for him. Well, this is a pretty interesting question. Do you get the same amount of trades in a bull market as you do in a bear market, I suppose, with Bitcoin? And the answer is yes. You, you have to remember at Chart Champions, we do like to trade the smaller term timeframes. So what I really like to do is like trade on like the 15-minute chart, let's say, and try and get entries off of the 15-minute chart, and then potentially let those day trades run into swing trades. You know, this is a pretty good example. Like that long was literally pretty much the exact low of this move. Obviously I was trading it from, you know, just to not let anyone forget that. But I was obviously, well, not really expecting, well, I guess I did expect it. I was pretty much traded it. So I was looking for a push down to swing failure pattern. The thing is, this only started out as a day trade. I took the majority of my profits, and then I was just like, right, I'll let the rest of this trade run. You know, let the rest of the trade run. So I think you get the same amount of trades in a bull market and a bear market. Like, you're not going to take more trades just because it's a bull market. But you know, you get, so to answer that question, you get the same amount of trades. And a lot of my trades, I'll try and get into like a day trade and then take profits and let the rest of it run. Yeah. So that's what I've done on this one. Like I've taken the majority of my profits on it, but I'm then just happy to let the rest run. If we go to, you know, if we go to 70k, we go to 70k. I'm not really expecting that on this rise, but you know, this is why it's good to have simultaneous positions. Yeah. So if you have a, you know, let's say for example, you had a short from, you know, I'll give you an example here. So let's say, for example, you had a short from, I don't know, that last high, $52,000. Yeah, you take it down and you don't want to close that short yet because there's no sign of strength. Yeah, we put in a series of lower highs. We swing failure pattern the low. That's arguably a bullish sign, but it's not enough yet to close that short, is it? Like, I would still hold that short. But what you could do is maybe, you know, move the stop loss down on the short between like a two higher lows back. Like if you're breaking these series of highs, you've changed market structure. Take these highs, you've changed it even more. So like what you would do is like move this stop loss down to here, for example, and then on the sign of strength, you get stopped out the short, and then you let your long run from this. Yeah. Or even if you like close this short break even, you know, even if you close that short break even, you could have taken profits lower, get stopped out. You're out of that short now. So the short is gone. The long that you had is now running on longer. So I think it's really helpful to like short at the high, long at the low, and then see which one works out overall. Yeah. Like that's one of the ways that I love to trade. And a lot of people just like don't get it. A lot of people don't understand it. They're like, oh wow, you hold a short and a long at the same time. What's the point? It's like, well, it's because the point is that my shorts are going to be, there's going to be like several thousands of dollars difference between the longs and the shorts. So then like, for example, if I had a short from, you know, just literally like I said, if I had a short from there and I have another long from the swing failure pattern, I would move the stop losses on the shorts, or just keep the entry at, you know, at break even entry. And once I've been stopped out of that short, I then have the long still running. Yeah. And then I'd look for another short, for example, off of, I don't know, $59,000. So then I'd have another short from here and I'd still have the long running until we change the market structure on the longs. So, you know, I think that's a really sensible way of trading, but just loads of people don't understand it. And if they don't understand it, they think, you know, they don't like it because people don't like what they don't understand. But that's like such a good way of trading. Honestly, it's so good way of trading. But hey, yeah. Yep, there's that. But anyway, as I was saying with this, I was looking for that swing failure pattern for that move to the upside. We also had this cipher, yeah. I don't know how many of you caught this as well. I know a few people did in the group. They were literally longing for that. But when we hit $47,000, we also had the finish of that cipher. And then it really combined with the swing failure pattern. So you had the swing failure pattern of the lows, And then really once you finish that swing failure and you come back above those lower, because you remember this lower high, 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 swing failure pattern, breaking the lower highs really gave you confirmation that the low of the cipher was in. And then, well, you obviously get a massive short squeeze to the upside, yeah? 47 to nearly basically $57,000. That's $10,000 move, 2,100% on that. Off of the cipher. But yeah, we obviously had some confluence. You had Younes's Elliott wave count. If you look at Younes's Elliott wave counts, obviously you'd have to be in the group for that, I think. How do you do partial profits on Bybit? Do you use the limit close with limited quality or reduce only balance? Really, 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 really good question, mate. So the way that you do it is, let's say, for example, you have, let's just say you longed $47,000 and you want to take profits at $58,000. Let's say that you longed $47,000 for $100. So you have a $100 long position from $47,000. And let's say you want to take 50% profits at $48,000. Yeah. So you have a long of 100 contracts, essentially 100 contracts, because one contract is $1. So you have 100 contract longs for $100. And you're in a long from 47,000. You want to take 50% profits at $48,000. So what you're going to do is, if you're trading Bybit on, if you're trading Bitcoin on Bybit on the BTC USD pair, what you are going to do is go into the top right box on Bybit and you're going to enter the price you want to sell. So the price is going to be $48,000, and then the quantity is you're going to enter 50. So for 50 contracts, and then you're going to tick the box below this that says reduce only. Yeah. And I would load it up on stream and show you, but there's like this thing where I can't really log in on stream and show any of my accounts anymore. So, you know, unfortunately I can't visually show you, but it's very, 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 very easy. Yeah. You just go into the top right, enter the price, $58,000. You'd enter 50 contracts for the quantity. E.g., if you're in 100 contract long and you enter 50 to close, you're going to be left with only $50 long. It's going to reduce your position. Yeah. And then on that, if you're in a long from 47,000, you enter $48,000, 50 contracts, reduce only, and then you're going to click sell/short. That's going to put a sell order in the books at $48,000 for 50 contracts. When that hits, it's going to reduce your 100 contract long to 50 contracts. You've now taken 50% profits. You're 100% guaranteed money, whether you come down and hit your entry price. It's a very nice position to be in, and that's how you do it, mate. So, and yeah, I'm sorry I can't really visually show you, but I don't ever want to log in on my streams again of accounts. For me, it's just, honestly, it's just not worth the hassle that comes along. Like the most times that I've received like all the threats and stuff was whenever I showed position sizes. Like, it just opens the floodgates for harassment, basically. So I refuse, probably never going to do this again on public streams. While I'm living where I am anyway. Maybe when I go to like an unknown location where no one knows where I live, then maybe I might, but not in the short term. just not worth the harassment I get. But anyway, I hope that explanation was good. And Ethereum, again, I think I've made it very clear that I've been long on ETH. Yeah? I've done videos talking about Ethereum. Man, if you wanted to get an easy long position, have a guess what Ethereum bounced off today, yeah? Well, it's not going to take many guesses, it really isn't. We went from the low to the high. Surprise, surprise, right into the CC. Right into the CC for a bounce to the upside. Yeah, simple stuff. You look at this over on, obviously this is the USD pair. This is the BTC pair. But if you wanted to get an entry on ETH, that was an instant like 5% bounce. Yeah, I'm obviously still bullish on ETH. I still think Ethereum looks really good. Like my thought process has not changed on this. It's exactly the same as when I made the video. Still looking for the weekly order block. at least, I think if you wanted to long it, like you had a very nice opportunity today off the CC, I think you can have hit take profits. Like you've come back into, look, resistance, resistance, support, support. You're back into this now. So I don't know whether you did or not, but that was not really a difficult long, I don't think, if you were around. You had a nice long, but I think you hit a take profit, you know, because it's probably likely that we fill this in, yeah? So what I mean is you're probably going to fill this in off getting like another retrace before maybe up again. But yeah, Ethereum, I'm still long. Again, I'm trading this on Bybit on the USD pair and the USDT pair. But I think ETH looks good. Yeah, I'm looking... I am looking for this weekly order block. That's basically my target on ETH. Yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at, and I think this will bring Ethereum USD up to around $3,000. Like we should, you know, it might get front run, so you might get a front run of 3,000, depending on how Bitcoin goes, because the 3,000 is another 8%. Like it's gonna be hard to see another 8%. Yeah, you might get front run on this, so you might want to like front run your orders of 3,000, but ultimately that should bring ETH up to around 3,000, depending on how Bitcoin goes. But yeah, my target is this weekly order block. This is where my target is, and obviously I'm long and strong on ETH, and that for the USD pair would bring ETH to around 3,000. What I mean by front run is if everybody's looking to sell 3,000, then sometimes what can happen is it does this. You know, if everybody's looking to sell at level, you have to remember this is quite far away. Then what it can sometimes do is this. Right, like comes up, and it like really like misses 3,000, and you know, this is just called like front running. So if everybody's looking to sell at level, then you know you kind of can sometimes miss that level because the orders stack, the orders stack, the orders stack. This guy says, what's the difference between USD and USDT pairs? Not really any. There's not really any difference. You know, I guess again, your collateral of what you're trading against. To trade against USDT, you have to hold Tether, and to trade against USD, at least on Bybit, you have to hold Bitcoin or hold the underlying asset. So if you want to trade Ethereum USD, you have to hold ETH. If you want to trade Ethereum USDT, you have to hold USDT. When looking at Ethereum, so yeah, there is going to be a discrepancy between that because Ethereum BTC was dropping as Bitcoin was rising. That means that the Ethereum USD pair is not going to necessarily drop as hard, because what you have to remember, let me explain this. If this is ETH, I'll write it out for you, yeah? So if Ethereum Bitcoin is doing this, it's gone down 10%. But Bitcoin USD is plus 10%, then ETH USD is going to do this. Yeah. So if Ethereum Bitcoin is down 10%, Bitcoin is up 10%, and then ETHUSD is going to get no change. So because ETH BTC dropped while Bitcoin rose, ETHUSD actually hardly changed, mate. Okay, so I hope you understand that. This is why I look at all the pairs. Even though I only trade the USDT pairs over on, on Bybit, I have to look at them all because that's how they work. And just to show you that that is real and that's how it works. Look at this. No change. ETHUSD, no change. ETH BTC, big drop to the downside, but Bitcoin, big rise. So big rise on Bitcoin, big drop, ETH BTC, ETHUSD, no change. Yeah. So there you go. I hope that helps. Yes, that is true. So on USDT, so Bybit has this thing called like hedge mode. So you can long and short on the same asset at the exact same time. So it's all on the same screen. It's very easy. Yeah. On USD you cannot do that at the moment, but on USDT you can. Yeah. On USD, what you have to do to hedge is, for example, long the perpetual swap and short the expiration. The expiration futures contract. So you can hedge on that. Are you planning to short Ethereum? No, not really, to be honest with you. Hi, Daniel. Not necessarily this part, but yes, the 382 is definitely your bullish Fibonacci, but it doesn't mean that it's going to like reject on the 786. Why don't you trade VeChain? Basically, I don't really trade on Binance. That's the primary reason. Like the only exchange I trade on is Bybit, so that's the primary reason why I don't trade VeChain, to be honest with you. Thanks for your analysis. Yes, no, you're absolutely more than welcome, mate. Entered yesterday. So he's entered long position 53,100. Yesterday. Wow, so you entered along. You entered along here. 53,100. I have no idea where your stop loss is. Let's just say it was here. And your target is 58,500. Yeah. Even though you're in profits, honestly, mate, I would say that was a really bad trade. Entering at 50. I think your entry was absolutely awful. I'm just trying to be like real with you. I think this was an absolutely awful entry. If I'm right, and if you're right with what you're saying, you entered yesterday. Yeah, I honestly think that was an awful entry. I have no idea where you've placed your stop loss not to get stopped out on this trade. You must have had a very wide stop loss, and your target, your risk to reward would have been about 1-to-1, which is rubbish anyway. I think $53,000 was a really, 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 really bad entry, and yeah, I just don't really understand it. Don't understand how you didn't get stopped out of this one on this downwards move if you had this entry point. The entry is already really bad, so Yeah, my opinion is that that was a really bad trade. Even though you're in profits, like there's a difference between winning a trade and having a good trade. You're in like what 4% profit, so you might think, oh, that was a really good trade, but yeah, in my opinion, that was a really bad trade. Even though you're making money off of it, because the entry was awful. It was a really weird entry price. So that's my opinion on that one. Probably not what you wanted to hear, but yeah, I would struggle to see how you think 53,100 was a good entry yesterday. You know, I was trading yesterday. I was trading Bitcoin yesterday, and like that for me was short regions, like shorting off of these back tests. So yeah, like I think that was a really weird place to long, and I just don't know how you didn't get stopped out on this move. Like if you had longed it today, I'd have said, yeah, it was a really good trade. Like this yesterday, I think was a really bad trade because Bitcoin looked like really weak, and we were like looking and expecting downside, and we got it. But if you had took the exact same trade today, I'd say that was a really good trade because you had the move off to 382, you bounced off to 382. So the exact same trade that you took yesterday, I think was an awful trade. But you take the exact same trade, exact same entries today, and I say, yeah, that was a good trade. Hope you understand why, because this was just a really weird place to buy yesterday. Whereas at least today, you'd have been buying off the support of the 382, all of the support that you had down here, all of the trap shorts. You know, you're trading off of that. So it's suddenly the same trade as a really good trade today. So I hope that helps, mate. I think you just got to time your entries a bit better. Like that's what I would say. You got to work on your entry times because this was a really bad time to buy yesterday. And that's just not me saying that in hindsight. Like yesterday I was bearish on Bitcoin expecting lower. So yeah. Oh right. Oh sorry, he's in New York, so he's got a different time zone. So he did enter today then, I guess. Well, in that case it was a good trade, mate. And by the way, I'm not really going to do this again, so I'm not going to take another request from somebody on the chat. I'll do this one just because, why not? But again, I think this is a really weird place to short ETH to. I personally wouldn't short ETH. Like, you're speaking to a guy that's really bullish on Ethereum, yeah? So my opinion is probably not going to be liked, but you've shorted Ethereum to 2,660. This is a really awful entry. I mean, your entry is awful. Like, I just don't understand how you're shorting at this level. I think the first thing you need to do is just join Chart Champions, because I'm not even joking. Ask anybody if you're taking these type of positions. Like, you seriously need to learn, because this is just just awful. This is just absolutely awful entry. You've literally shorted support. So I really don't know what to say, mate, other than this is an awful entry, and it's just like the worst. It's just absolutely terrible. So, you know, I'm not really going to be able to give you a technical pullback, because firstly, I'm bullish on Ethereum expecting higher, and secondly, this is just the worst entry you could have got. I mean, at least if you were short off of around the highs, I'd be like, hey, at least you had a good reason to enter here. But shorting this is just, I have no idea what to tell you, mate. It's just awful entry. Yeah. Well, firstly, I'm bullish on Ethereum, and secondly, this is just like the worst entry I've ever seen. So I can't really help you with that, other than my advice is join Chart Champions and learn what you're doing, because, you know, this is the thing. How many people, they come to me and they're like, oh, you know, I've lost so much money. Like that guy today, he lost $3,000 trading XRP. Like $3,000 would buy you 1 year of Chart Champions membership. And I honestly think you come out of Chart Champions after 1 year, you're gonna just so much better use of your money. Like, you're actually gonna have full on learned things. You're gonna have a proper skill. You're not gonna take these random trades. Like, I just struggle to see people losing that much money, and like, oh man, it's kind of painful. But hey, yeah, all I can say on that Ethereum trade is it's very bad, mate. Anyway, there we go. I think I might wrap it up here. Wow, we're going on for an hour. I went on way longer than what I wanted to. Yeah, so that's my final thoughts really. I'm looking for a move up this weekend, at least to $58,000. Like, I just wasn't sure where we are here. Yeah, I'm looking for at least a swing failure pattern of here. Even better if we, well, not even better per se, but I think you got to trade off the swing failure pattern. If we get no swing failure pattern, or we get swing failure pattern, back test support, hold another higher low, move up again, I think we're looking up towards. I think we got to just remember the CC, swing failure pattern. If no swing failure pattern, look towards $60,000 plus. Yeah, I think it's very, 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 very easy to trade this. I think we kind of got a gift this weekend. Last question, Daniel. What are the steps? You've got a few different options for this. And yes, yes, on Bybit, that's good that you trade there, because that's where I trade. So the things that you got to remember, the fees, if you use Atis, it's absolutely free. So there's no fees to get the order flow if you use Atis or like Tiger Trader. If you use what I use, it's EXO, which obviously has, I don't know, I can't even remember, it's like $30 a month or something. So which is like insane value. Like, that's incredibly cheap for what you get. So it's like $30 a month. Or you can just use Atis, which is free, which is acceptable as well, to be honest. Appreciate your thoughts. Let me know how to subscribe. Chartchampions.com, mate. I'll give you a little link if you would like. And then I think we will call it a good old night. There you go, mate. I've posted the link there. I'll do the last few questions and then we'll end. Where are some good questions? What is your Bitcoin price prediction? I think I'm looking for about $69,000 next. I'd like 69,000, 70,000, see how it goes from there. I've not like got ridiculously high targets like some people, but I think 70,000 region would be really nice. Obviously, I'd love $100,000 Bitcoin, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a sensible target, $69,000. I'm not necessarily expecting me to go straight there, but like overall over the course of like a few months, yeah, $69,000. Why Bybit? What's so good about Bybit? I personally just, and I can say this like hand on heart, I honestly just love to trade Bybit. I've wrote about this before, wrote a post about this. Not that long ago. Yeah, here it is. Like, I honestly just truly do like the exchange. For me, it literally does have the best user interface. Like, I've tried to trade Binance before, and honestly, I just found it ultra confusing. Like, I literally just found like the way that you trade margin is like, what you have to like borrow margin, and then they're trying to charge you interest like every single second, and it's like the fees are like, it's just incredibly high fees, and it's just like they firstly have the most confusing user interface ever. Then they try and rip you off hard on the way margin works, and then yeah, the fees are high. And like, so the comparison for me of why I personally love Bybit is it's the most simplest exchange ever. You cannot get confused. They pay you to enter limit orders, so it's like on Binance you have to pay to enter orders, and Binance will literally pay you. So the fees are actually paying you to enter trades. So that's a massive bonus of Bybit. The customer service is a big bonus of Bybit, like 24/7, 7 days a week support. I think that's really, really, really good. The liquidity is really good. You know, I'm trading with multi-millions and zero problems. Like, I can get in and out of orders with really little slippage. You know, these are just like massive benefit. Of course, the liquidity on Binance is very good as well. So, you know, they're obviously equal on that. But yeah, for me, it's just like the user interface is brilliant. It just does what I want to do. And the downside is that you don't have access to 3,000 different altcoins. But for me, honestly, like, I'm not bothered about trading 3,000 alts. I think on Bybit, I'm trading like 10 alts. And like that for me is more than enough. You know, it's just more than enough. So that's the reasons. How do you handle big losses? Yeah, Binance has no customer service. Yeah, Binance sucks. I'm a big hater of Binance. Like, I really don't like them. How do you handle big losses? Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I try and get into positions where I'm not taking big losses. Like, you have to remember, you know, when I'm trying to think of an example for you. Well, first of all, like, the thing is, I'm not going to be taking like catastrophic losses. Like, the guys that come in sometimes, and you know, I read comments from people. They're like, "I've got liquidated today." Like, I have hand on heart in my whole trading career over the years, I've never ever liquidated an account. So like, the people that get liquidated, I feel for them, but like, they're trading with way too much leverage. Like, I'm not a high leverage trader, and I've never like a proper account. I've never liquidated one of my proper accounts. You know, so you know, that's one thing you got to bear in mind. Like, what I'm trading. Let's just say, for example, I'm not going to do this, but let's just say I shorted here. And I just want to emphasize, I'm not doing this trade, but let's just say I shorted here, and then I enter a stop loss, I don't know, above the high, and I target, I don't know, here, and I've got this like really good trade. You have to remember, all my trades are with an entry, a stop loss, on a target. So if I take a loss, I already know the loss size before I've entered the trade. Like, you do a formula which tells you your position size, e.g., you're working out, you're calculating your risk. So the number one thing you should do as a trader is calculate your risk, because as a trader, it's more important to keep your money than lose money. So I would prefer to go a year as a trader with making zero profit, but also not losing anything. So starting the year with $0, ending the year with $0. Well, then, you know, you obviously can't do that. That'd be easy. Starting the year with $100, ending the year with $100, rather than starting the year with $100 and ending the year with $0. I prefer to, at least as a newer trader, if you can get break even after the first few years of trading, you're doing very well. Most people are blowing up their accounts. But obviously, the way that you do this is with correct risk management, correct position sizing. A lot of people don't want to do correct position sizing because they're really bored of it and it's too boring. But, you know, I'll end with this really cool thing, yeah? Let me show you something. Yep, this is it. So this guy, Chris, another all-star, said, simple maths, guys. If you have 5,000 USD, you make 1% a day, you will end up with 14 million in 2 years. So all you need, with $5,000, make 1% a day, and in 2 years you have $14 million. And like I said here, I mean, honestly, I honestly think that it's not that hard to get 1% a day in crypto. I think that's a very modest return. And I know people are going to say 95% of people aren't going to achieve this. Of course, 95% of people aren't going to be able to do 1% a day because they're so greedy, looking for like 100% a day. You know, but, you know, this was another calculation that we'd had. You know, you do your like 1% a day, you're turning you turn $5,000 into a few $1 million in a few years. And that's just compounding. People are so greedy about their returns. They blow it all up. I'll tweet this one out for you all so you can look at this. I'll do that later, I think. think last question before I end. I like this one. Will you ever cash out or retire from trading? From Scott Kemp. I honestly think no. Like, you don't know how many times a day I get the question of, Daniel, why are you still doing this? Like, with the money you have, why do you bother still doing this? Like, you don't understand like how many times a day I get that question. It's like, you know, so the question of will I retire from this, like, I could retire tomorrow if I really wanted to, but I just absolutely enjoy what I do. Like, for me, it's like an absolute pleasure. It's like today, I really, honestly, I really should not be doing this live stream tonight. I just should not be doing it because my throat is going to be absolutely hating me. I can feel it. I'm struggling. Like, you can't, I am hurting, but it's like, I just love what I do so much. And like, I have such a love and passion for trading. I honestly don't, you know, I honestly, even when I'm like retired per se, I'll still be like checking the charts every day. Like, I just know 100% I'll be doing it. Like, there's not going to be a day where I think I'm not going to be trading, just because I just truly love trading. I think it's like the competitive thing of it. Like, I love the competitiveness. I just love the joy of knowing my winning trade is beating someone else. And I know, like, you know, what I don't like, what I don't understand is like the socialists that they come at me like, oh, everybody should win in trading. It's like, nah, man, there's winners and there's losers. I know this market, there's people that win and there's people that lose. Like, I think I've like reached this level of trading now where I'm, you know, I'm winning by far the majority of my trades. I absolutely just love the thrill. And now we like, even more so now we're like, I have a big community. It's pretty awesome. Like, you wake up, you do like an epic call. You like wake up and you're like, yeah, come on. You got loads of people in the background that are like cheering you on, like, oh, come on, that was epic. You know, I think I just absolutely love that. So yeah, for me, I think I'm never, ever going to stop trading. I just cannot imagine a day where I'm not doing it. Even when I'm like living on desert islands, you know, I think I still have to have a satellite connection to look at the charts. But yeah, that's my honest opinion on that. I really don't think I'm ever going to stop, and that's just like truly because I absolutely love what I do. Like, I just absolutely love this, so I don't think I'm going to stop. I have no desire to stop, I suppose. And I just love the thrill of the race. The thrill of the race, I suppose. But there you go, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm gonna have to wrap it up now. But yeah, thank you ever so much. I hope you've enjoyed. Personally, I'm looking, once again, I'll just emphasize, looking for a move up here on Bitcoin. We'll obviously look towards the CC next. If we don't reject the CC, we can look up to 60k. CC, be careful of the swing failure pattern. Those are the next places I'd look to short Bitcoin. But for here, I'm not going to short. Or I suppose alternatively, although I think it's unlikely, we have to remember everything is possible. I don't really think it's very likely that we don't take this high. But let's just say, hey, let's just say it happens. Where would we look to short if we do just fall down? I think it's a lot harder to do this. I think it's a very, very, very difficult short. That's why I really wouldn't like this scenario to happen. I think it's very hard to get an entry. You know, because what I have to think is if we fall down here, we got 55k support. So it's going to be very hard for me to short if we drop here. I just really wouldn't be able to. So, I mean, my preferred scenario is we push up because I'm going to just struggle otherwise. The thing that I'm thinking is if we dropped here, like we're dropping to 55k and I cannot short that because like that's massive support now. So I suppose what I would have to see is some sort of loss of 55k, but then I'm trading the middle of the range. Just really don't like the scenario of dropping here. So Bitcoin, just make me happy and just push up. Come on, please. just push up. That'd be very much easier to trade. at least the swing failure pattern the highs, you know. You know, but if we do push down here, I suppose I'd have to look for a short below 55k because I couldn't short above that now. It's too big of a support. So my short, if we do just fall down, would have to be some sort of move, loss of 55k and a back test. Wouldn't be my favorite short. I would probably use reduced position size, but I'd have to get into some sort of back test 55k. Not my favorite scenario, but if it happens, it happens, you know. Be prepared for everything. But yeah, that's my oh man. Daniel, just wanted to say I really appreciate. I mean, I love you, man. Made it to 6 figures this year with you. Struggling at this level, but I'll try. Man, if you made 6 figures this year, you're doing better than a lot of other people, mate. What I think you have to do, I think a lot of people are so hard on themselves in trading. Like, trading is a hard field. It's not for everybody. You know, Not everybody's going to make it in trading. I think people are really hard on themselves. They like fail for like a year and they're like, oh, I'm going to quit. But I think like honestly in trading, you have to give yourself a good amount of time. I'll show you this comment before I end. I loved this comment. Yeah. This guy says, hi, I am 45-year-old donkey trying to learn a new profession with you all. Hope my brain can absorb all of this in a proper manner. The hours and effort I put in, the time I have, willing to wait 3 to 4 years until becoming consistently profitable. Let's see if I become a full-time trader before he reaches his 50s. Good luck to all. I'm proud to be part of such an... Oh man, this guy is above my level of English.
Erudite.
Erudite. This is an intellectual right here. Erudite. I love that word. Erudite.
Erudite.
Having or showing great knowledge of learning. Right, there you go, mate. You learn something new every day. I'm proud to be part of such an erudite group of people. Well, there you go. I'm happy that you're on board, mate. But what I said here is I replied to him saying, this is the correct mindset to have. Smash it out of the park. Like, this guy's entered 45 and he's willing to wait 3 to 4 years of learning to do it properly, yeah? Whereas the average person that comes into the group, yeah? The average person is going to come in here and he's going to be like, oh, I want to learn this in I want to learn this in 6 months. And if I'm not profitable by half a year, I'm going to quit. Like, this is just the wrong attitude to have. Like, trading is not as easy as you think. And it takes time. Firstly, it takes time studying all the theory. Then it takes time and transferring that theory to practice, yeah? So yeah, I like that guy because he had the correct outlook of trading. And with that, I'm gonna end. I'm gonna have to. So yeah, thank you ever so much, everybody. Thank you. Obviously, yeah, if you want that free bonus over on Bybit, you can create a new account with the link. Deposit $1,110 for free. That is something you can do. Give us a follow over on Twitter if you want. Join our Discord. Our Discord is massive now. We got like 22,000 people in the Discord. So if you ever want to talk trading, then there's someone there 24/7, 7 days a week. We have a very active, very, very active Discord community. So yeah, 22,000 people in that now. Go join that if you haven't. And hope you all have a brilliant weekend. I'm remaining bullish here, at least locally on Bitcoin. I might short Bitcoin if we get swing failure pattern next. But for now, long, looking for higher. So I hope that's helped. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Have a good weekend and enjoy it. Cheers. Well, I need to end with the exactly as predicted. Where is that? There we go. Exactly as predicted. Swing failure pattern of the lows. Short squeeze to the upside. Let's just put that on so everyone can see this. Look at that in all its glory. Swing failure pattern of the lows. Short squeeze to the upside. Swing failure pattern of the lows. Short squeeze to the upside. Exactly as predicted. Thank you ever so much and